Hi everyone, Joe Gentili from Saraf Gentili LLP. So if you've watched a bunch of our videos, one thing that we've emphasized a lot in our videos is that if you're dealing with a really long delay for an immigration petition, mandamus cases in general work very well to clear up that delay and to finally get a decision. That said, there are some types of mandamus cases that work even better than most. And the reason why they work better is because there'll be a specific part of the law that governs that immigration visa that'll give the government a deadline to make a decision on the case for. And one of those areas is for the I-829, which is if you're in the EB-5 process, it's the removal of conditions on your green card phase of the process. And so for that, the law governing 829 says that the government has to make a decision within 90 days of filing or 90 days from having the interview, if there's an interview. And so it's for the later of the two. So really that gives them at the very most 180 days to make a decision. They almost never decide an 829 in that period of time. So if you're beyond that period of time, a lot of people are way beyond that period of time. You have a very strong mandamus lawsuit because there's a specific law that says that the government has to adjudicate it. So those mandamus lawsuits related to 829s very, very frequently will result in getting a decision. It's a hard case for the government to argue against. There's other areas of immigration that are like this. So the 829, it looks like the statute in this particular part about when they have to adjudicate, it's modeled after the 751, which is removal of conditions on a green card outside of the EB-5 context and in the marriage context. So you'll see something very similar there. If you have a long delayed 751, same thing, really strong case. And then there's a close cousin of this for naturalization. If you're post interview for naturalization, if you go 120 days past, you could file something called a 1447B case, which is like a close cousin of mandamus cases, also very strong. So while mandamus lawsuits work in general, there are some areas like the 829 and then, these other areas that I mentioned that are particularly strong. So if you have a long delayed 829 and it's causing you a lot of problems, for instance, it's keeping your money invested at a very poor rate of return longer than you want it to be, or you're worried that if it goes on too long, your money is at risk and you may not get your money back at all, there's really no reason to tolerate that. If you file a lawsuit, you're going to have a really good chance of success with it. So any questions, I encourage you to reach out. And if this was useful, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.